Hi, 7th graders. Miss Lewis here. One of you asked me to make a video to show some examples of solving two-step equations. So I thought that was a great idea. I've got 4 problems here I'm going to do with you. For each one I'm going to solve and then I'm going to check my answer. In number 1 I have 3v minus 9v equal 30. So I noticed that these are like terms. They both have a v attached to them. So the distributive property tells me that I just keep that v and then I can combine 3 minus 9 or 3 plus negative 9. So that gives me negative 6v equals 30. And then to get v by itself, the inverse operation for multiplication is division. Divide both sides by negative 6. And that gives me 1v equals negative 5. And then I need to check my answer. So I'm going to come over here to check, put negative 5 in here and here for v. So 3 times negative 5 minus 9 times negative 5 plus equals 30. So that gives me negative 15. And you can think of this as plus negative 9 times negative 5. Negative 9 times negative 5 gives me positive 45. So I've got plus 45. And because negative 15 plus 45 equals 30, this checks. So my answer to number 1 is v equals negative 5. I'm going to have to erase my check work to make space for number 2. In number 2, I have to solve negative 8d minus 5d plus 7d equals 72. Again, these are all like terms. They all have a d attached to them, so I'm going to do negative 8 plus negative 5 plus 7, and that gives me the coefficient that I need for d. So negative 8 plus 5, that's negative 3. Negative 3 plus 7 is 4. So all of these make positive 4d equals 72. And then I need to do my inverse operation, so I'll divide both sides by 4. So that gives me 1d equals, and then 4 goes into 72 how many times? I know 8 goes in 9 times, so that means 4 should go in 18 times. Is that right? Let's double check. 18. So d equals 18. Okay, and then I need to check my answer. So I'll come over here for my check work. I apologize that it's so scrambled. But I'm going to check. I'm going to put 18 in here, here, and here for d. So I've got negative 8 times 18 plus 5 times 18 plus 7 times 18 equals 72. All right, negative. Feel free to grab the calculator at this point. I'm going to do the same. All right, but you can check it. You should be able to check this. All right, so 8 times 18. So I've got negative 144 plus, I need 5 times 18. That's 90. I need 7 times 18, that's 144, and there's a problem. Something's not right. Oh, it's either here or here because I got the same number. So 8 times, I bet I just hit the wrong button. 8 times 18 and 7 times 18. One of those. Okay, 7 times 18 is 126. Hopefully you got that. And then left or right, I need negative 144 plus 90. That's negative 54 plus 126. And that gives me 72. So this one does check. So my answer to number 2 is d equals 18. In numbers 3 and 4, you notice you've got parentheses, but when you look inside the parentheses, you don't have any like terms that you can combine. So what should we do there? So I go inside here, I can't do anything inside these parentheses. But this needs to be multiplied. So this is where we distribute our 6 to each of these terms inside parentheses. So you can write this as a plus negative 2, and you're going to say 6 times x is 6x, plus 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. And now we can solve that. So I need to do the inverse operation for this negative 12. We need to add positive 12 on both sides. So we have 6x. These cancel. Negative 12, positive 12 gives me 0. 6x equals negative 18 plus 12 gives me negative 6. And now I want to divide both sides by this 6. The inverse operation I need is division. So 6x divided by 6 equals negative 6 divided by 6. So that gives me 1x equals, and that's negative 1. So I got x equals negative 1. I want to check that, so let's check it over here. So we're going to have 6 parentheses. We're going to put negative 1 minus 2 equals negative 18. Now I can do order of operations because I have like terms. So 6 times, that's going to be negative 3. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. And that does check. So my answer to number 3 is x equal negative 1. And we're ready for number 4. And I've lost my eraser. Alright, so for number 4, same thing. We still have to distribute. We're going to do negative 8 times y is negative 8y, plus negative 8 times 9 is negative 72, equals negative 40. So when you do when you have these two-step equations, you have to do inverse operations. You need to undo addition and subtraction before you undo multiplication and division. So because you're doing inverse operations, that's like you're going backwards through the problem. It's like you're going backwards through your order of operations. So because addition and subtraction is the last thing that you do with order of operations, it's the first thing you're going to be undoing as you go through this. So we're going to first undo this negative 72. So to do that, I need to add positive 72 to both sides. That gives me negative 8y equals negative 40 plus 72 is going to be negative 32. Then divide both sides by negative 8. And that gives me y equals positive 4.